Club. I'm Alison Kuo. I'm an artist and I make art about talking to people using food as a subject matter. And I also make a lot of art about being Asian American. And it always has to be fun and interactive. I wanted to find a way that I could relate to lots of different people. I also personally have always been very fascinated by food and the culture around food. And I think that it's something that everybody has in their lives, you know, whether you love eating and cooking or you don't care about it, you still have experiences with food and opinions about food. And so it's very relatable. I grew up in Richardson, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas. And my father is originally from Hong Kong and my mother is American. So food was a very important way for my family to share our Asian American culture together. And so every weekend we would go to Chinatown together and eat a meal or, you know, spend time cooking together. And so I've always felt that food is something that can create a really nice bonding experience. I learned when I was very young was that food, it can be a creative medium too. So when I was growing up in Texas, I would go to my friends' houses. I'd go to my friend Allie's house and her mother would always create these kind of setups for us where we could do crafts or do something creative with food. So we love decorating cookies for Christmas. We always made gingerbread houses. And I remember one year we were making our gingerbread houses and we had pizza and I thought it would be very funny if I put the blue sprinkles that I was putting around my gingerbread house onto my pizza slice. And I wanted to see how my friends would react. And they thought it was really, really funny. And so, and I thought it was great. And I remember taking a bite out of it and it tasted disgusting, but it was sort of a moment of, hey, playing with your food can actually be like a really creative, fun experience. Coming up with new ideas is something that people really value. They love seeing something new and exciting or entertaining from an artist. And so, playing with your food is something that, it is a taboo. And so it can be very fun for people and very freeing to learn like, oh, I can do this. And I really like hosting workshops where I teach people how to make sculptures with their food. And I ask them, go to a grocery store that you've never been to before, maybe, something in a different neighborhood or just a new place, and buy one thing and then bring it to the class to share. And then we'll all, kind of look at what we all have and we'll make something together. And you just start creating a world and it's really fun. And I love seeing people kind of have that moment of discovery. When I make food with art, I want people to think about their own relationship with food and, maybe with their family's culture or with their neighborhood. And I want people to think about where their food comes from. So, the way that we live in modern times, we don't always know, the farmer or even the person who prepared our food or processed it for us. We don't see those people very often. Another project that I did was called Cone Treats, and this was when I was thinking a lot about how sometimes when you look at food and you imagine what it tastes like, it can be a completely different experience when you taste it. Ice cream melts, so if you're doing a photo shoot, the lights are very hot and it could melt the ice cream that you're trying to take a nice picture of. And one substitute is to use instant mashed potatoes because they will look like ice cream in the picture and they won't melt. And they're also very cheap and kind of easy to make different colors. So I purchased some, bulk mashed potato flakes. I bought the ice cream cones. I got all of what toppings will look like they're sweet or colorful, but are actually for a salty food. So, you could squirt mayonnaise on there and it's going to look like it's a sauce. You could cut up beets and they look pink and colorful. They're actually savory. You know, I offered this to people for free, and you know, it's just a very fun moment for me. It's really all about the moment when someone is kind of understanding what you're doing and how unusual it is, and then they are kind of in on the joke and they're like, oh, that's very fun, you know, and then they taste and they're like, you know, most people really liked it. Making the ice cream cones with mashed potatoes was such a great project for me to learn more about how much I can encourage people to go outside of their comfort zone when it comes to food.